guys basically keep yourselves happy. Keep yourselves from, what are the little things that keep yourself from, for say, insanity? Keep yourselves in line, keep yourselves joyful when
Goals.
trying to maybe achieve goals or whatever you're doing.
Always
Vodka.
staying busy.
What was that? Staying busy?
Staying busy and setting goals. Like this whole thing that I want to move to Miami and whatnot. Like I got a poster of Miami up on my wall now. Like, you know, every day I remind myself, I journal about it. You know what I mean? Like every day I remind myself, and it's like something I'm working towards that. You know,
Right.
maybe this isn't the right approach because it's kind of like, you know, that's kind of like what I'm pursuing in an effort to be happier. So maybe
Right.
it isn't the right approach. Like maybe once it happens, I won't be happy anymore or whatnot, and it won't be as nice as I think it is. But that just kind
Dude,
of
it's always gonna
working for me
happen.
now.
It's always gonna
Yeah,
happen.
nothing's
But-
ever enough, but
that's
still,
right.
that's
nothing's
good.
ever
So-
enough. But
So I
dude,
guess that just reinforces the statement of goals,
Yeah.
always setting higher and higher goals. Every time you achieve one, move higher. Never be satisfied.
nope, never be
Yeah.
satisfied. But it's about the process towards them, dude.
But you know,
Yeah.
you know, you're chasing something that's important to you,
Yeah, that's worthy.
and
Yep.
that means something more than where you're at.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
I like
pursuit of
that. What do you think, Andrew?
Also not caring about
Keep going.
people's opinions. I stopped I unfollowed everything on Instagram that was political based. Well, except for a few things that are kind of funny, but most stuff like that. Most people that go on rants a lot, I unfollowed them. A lot of people, like you see people kind of post memes and posts that kind of enable mental illness and they enable depression. They're like, and it's all those, you know, like birth signs, like, oh, I'm a Libra, so I'm depressed this time of year, like stupid ass shit. And I just like, I don't look at their stories or I unfollow them. And I guess that helps. Not reading comments on posts, you know what I mean? Which was pretty easy, except for like UFC posts where I always want to like join the discussion about those, but just not not listening to people's opinions in general and trying to stay off social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a big difference between some discussions versus some of the garbage that, you know, just end up in arguments. But I gotta say it. I imagine it made a huge difference because I remember doing the same thing a couple of years ago on Facebook that you did on Instagram, and it was the best thing ever. I mean, I now unfollow, and I've done this for a couple of years now, anybody who posts political stuff. I don't care if you're on my side or the other side. I don't want anything to do with it on my Facebook. I'm there to see what a happy life you're living, or, you know, what, like, share your life. That's what social media is for. And to keep in touch with people. Like, I don't want to see any of your political garbage. Keep that to yourself. If I want to know about it, I'll ask you.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
because at
good
the
for
end of
you.
the day, man, at the end of the day, I know I'm a businessman, so I really could give a shit about politics. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
have my few beliefs, but they don't really fall under a certain spectrum. And it's like, you know, if both sides invited me to a party at the White House or Mar-a-Lago, whatever, I'd go to both parties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just for the networking opportunity. I don't really care about political affiliation. And you know, of course, like I said, I have my beliefs, and I guess I lean more one way, but I'm trying to stray out of it more and more because it's like, I don't know. You guys ever seen House of Cards before? They're all fucking scoundrels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good for you,
It's
man.
just super distracting to follow that stuff, no matter what your view is. It's
Right.
Yep.
a
Yeah, for sure.
distraction. It's an unnecessary distraction.
Mhm,
That gets you
absolutely.
nowhere.
It's like garbage for your mind and garbage for your mood.
Yeah.
Garbage in, garbage out.
That's right.
Or what is it? Garbage in, garbage increases or something. How do I keep? Yeah, I would have to piggyback off what you're saying, Mike. Definitely purpose and goals. I mean, keeping myself busy is great, but keeping myself busy with things I love doing and that are important to me. You know, making sure I fit my workout in always makes my day. Making sure I meet all my little goals, making sure I'm being productive, doing things that get me in the direction I want to be going, like school, no matter how tedious it is, getting that done. I know I'm heading in the right direction. It's something I want to accomplish. And then being able to take time to myself, and get outside and do some hiking and spend some time with animals and hike with good company like that. That's what makes my freaking day. You know, looking back at the weekend, haven't been able to have probably spent a good 7 or 8 hours hiking outside on beautiful days like today. That's on top of getting everything else that I got done. That's what keeps me happy.
Gotcha.
You don't even have
Cool.
time to be bothered by anything else.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your approach, Charlie?
To being happy, I would say it's similar, just keeping busy. I think that's the happiest I've ever been, you know. I try not to ruminate on stuff. You know, I find that if I'm
Mhm.
moving around doing something, or if I have plans, I have things positive to look forward to.
Yep.
And the more positive things that happen, the more you look forward to stuff, and you're excited for life. You know, if you have this you get this momentum going. So that's kind of my what keeps me happy. And then I find that,
Mhm.
you know, when I don't have anything going on, like say there's a lockdown or isolation or something, you know, I'm dealing with isolation, I find that having just a sense of humor about stuff,
Right. Yeah, for
really
sure, dude. For sure.
you know, the I mean, about anything, you know. I
Mhm.
find that's kind of what kept me going all these years, as far as trying to survive when I didn't have things going for me or I didn't have plans, you know.
Mhm.
So just trying to be as positive as possible, and going, uh, moving around is kind of what keeps me
Right.
happy. Mhm. So
Daniel?
Oh yeah, my thoughts on it. Yeah. I feel like happiness is kind of like the stock market. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down, but you kind of want that you kind of
That's
want it
emotional.
gradually to go up. Yeah, and that's your emotion too. And I feel like to keep yourself like generally joyful is to take care of yourself, take care of your mind, your body, your soul, and take care of your human needs. Like, for example, relationships. Like, I love how Andrew hangs out with, you know, he goes on um, walks or hikes with people, with dogs. He has some type of connection. I mean, it goes back to where like humans can't even live without connection. Um, it just increases how joyful you are. Anyways, we're actually running out of time here. Let's
Hang
go
on, I
over.
got something to build on. We're gonna
Alright,
just push
build-
that
build
time
off
limit,
that, but
stretch
then-
it.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll stretch it, but eventually, in a few minutes, I want to get to all our goals.
Yeah, this will be quick. So we're talking about happiness, and so I was just reading in this really cool book, The Constellation of Philosophy. Every guy should
Mhm.
study philosophy. That's my personal belief, because with philosophy comes a deeper understanding of the humanities, which is important for men to know. But it was talking about how happiness is actually one and the same as the highest good. And so when you pursue happiness, you pursue the highest good. And when you, or like genuine happiness, and when you
Right.
pursue the highest good, you also pursue happiness. And if you believe in God, you also pursue God. All three of those things, God, happiness, and the highest good, are all on the same plane. So just something to think about. So like that's why we find happiness keeping busy, because when we're pursuing our purpose, staying busy, we're not only pursuing happiness, we're also pursuing the highest good, or vice versa.
I also wanted to add something too. I think trying new
Right.
things is also another big thing to keeping somebody happy. You know, always being curious and saying, not just sticking to what you know, but going towards the unknown and exploring new things. Basically, is just attempting to do things that you think you might not be good at, things that might intimidate you slightly.
So why do you think that is? I mean, I believe it.
I'm sure there's a few reasons. I mean, like, you know, with Muay Thai, it was something I always wanted to do, but I just felt like I was too busy. But then I finally made time for it and I started it. It's just something new. Like I'm challenged at it because it's like I go in there and there's guys that have been there for years that are, you know, they check every one of my kicks or they block every one of my strikes. And it's like, it's something I can get better at. And being amongst people like that, I'm like, wow, I could be like one of these guys in a few years. And it's like getting thrown in an environment where I'm the rookie and I'm brand new. I don't know, where I suck. And always keeping in my mind that I'm going to one day be better at this and having something that I can constantly gain something on. You know, as many of those kind of activities you can have in your life that have the potential to develop you into a better person and better at that thing, I think can help. I mean, hiking, for example, is the same thing. I mean, you can always find more difficult mountains to keep hiking all the time and new challenges. And that's just the more you go, you can, I mean, like hiking the Himalayas, that's an incredible challenge that nobody can just be like, yeah, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? You have to work up to that. And it's just, there's levels to things in life, and
Yeah.
understanding that and pursuing those higher levels, I think is also increases, you're pursuing a higher state of mind as well.
Right.
I have a couple of comments to add to that. Change, yeah, because you gotta be open-minded and adaptable to change while also respecting tradition. That's politics. That's liberalism and conservatism. That's being a balance between the two. And then Jordan Peterson talks about expanding into the unknown, which is change, which is going with things you're unfamiliar with. And then you said something else about, challenge. Men grow through challenge. And so, doing Muay Thai, you said? Muay Thai, is that how you say it?
Muay Thai, yeah.
Yeah, which is a challenge
Muay
too.
Thai.
Men specifically grow through challenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I all very
Gotcha.
valid points you made.
That reminded me of what they would say is someone's midlife crisis is when they feel like they're kind of at a place where they're like, what else do I do? Because they feel like they've done everything, and that's why they're unhappy.
How close-minded that person would have to be.
Yeah.
It's like people that retire early, they end up either going back to work or they end up, slumping
That's
down
right.
into a depression. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
That's
Yeah.
right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Where there's like studies on men actually dying after retiring, like very early, because they
Yeah.
have no more purpose and meaning in their life.
And that's why it's like, it's not like I'm condoning people to work to the rest of their lives, you know what I mean? But it's like if you retire early, just pick up new hobbies, like I was
Mhm.
saying, pick up hiking, pick up surfing, travel the world, pick up some activities there, pick up some martial arts, pick up, a new language, learning a new
Right.
New
language. I mean,
craft, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
write about your life, you know what I mean? Like doing something, having some sort of passion, just always moving and always challenging
Mhm.
yourself.
That's why I
So it
like
doesn't
the
always have
analogy
to
of
be the same thing.
that's why I like the analogy of like you gotta recharge you're like a car, you gotta drive, like you gotta go for drives, you gotta run, because you gotta recharge your battery. And if you let it sit for a while, it's gonna die.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
that's what we live on.
objects in motion
Mhm.
stay in motion, you know what I
That's
mean?
right,
It's just
yeah.
like the basic
Mhm.
law, and it applies to people too.
Yep. Anything else to add?
I find that what makes me happy is also having low expectations about something that I'm new to.
That's a good piece of advice for anybody.
You gotta
Yeah,
have
for sure.
low expectations about things that you're getting into, because if you have too high of an expectation, it's gonna be disappointing.
Keep your
You know?
standards high and your expectations low.
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin said something like that. He's like, the
Oh,
man
really?
who has no expectations, forget it. Will
Smooth.
be like, but he'll basically be he'll never the man who has no expectations will never be disappointed.
Yeah,
That's how it
that's
goes.
kind of how it is. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, just learning from experience. That's kind of what I find makes me happy, And then looking back on it, you're like, wow, that was such a cool thing that I did, or a wonderful
Mhm.
thing that I did with other people. The reminiscing is kind of what makes me happy. Like looking back on it.